What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to the channel, where we break down everything happening with your Dallas Cowboys. Before we dive into today's news, let me ask you guys for a quick favor. If you're a diehard Cowboys fan and want to stay updated on all things Dallas, go ahead and smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications. We're bringing you the real deal, and today's topic is one you don't want to miss. Let's get into it. Jerry Jones, our beloved yet sometimes controversial owner, has once again made headlines with his fiery comments during a radio interview after our brutal 47-9 loss to the Detroit Lions. Cowboys fans, this was our worst home defeat since 1988, and it's left everyone, players, coaches, and fans, asking tough questions. But leave it to Jerry to take the mic and stir things up. After that ugly Week 6 loss, it's safe to say Jerry Jones is not in a good mood. The Cowboys are 3-3 heading into the bye week, and Jerry's frustration is boiling over. During his weekly appearance on the Sean and RJ show on 105.3 The Fan, Jones didn't hold back, taking aim at the radio host for their line of questioning. Now, we all know Jerry can be passionate, but this time he came across as downright furious. Jerry's comments were directed at the radio host questioning the team's recent performance, and he didn't appreciate the tone. In typical Jerry Jones fashion, he defended his head coach Mike McCarthy and reminded everyone that the problems the Cowboys are facing right now are more complex than just coaching. He basically said, "Don't put all of this on McCarthy. It's a team issue." But let's be real, Cowboys Nation. The fans are angry, and many are losing patience with McCarthy, despite Jerry's defense. And it's not just about McCarthy anymore. The Cowboys' struggles are putting a spotlight on Jerry himself. Let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Sunday's loss to the Lions wasn't just a bad game. It was historically bad. We're talking about the worst home defeat since Jerry Jones brought the team back in 1989. That's saying something. Dallas was completely outclassed, and it's not like the Lions are a powerhouse team. Losing 47-9 at home is embarrassing for any franchise, but for America's team, it feels like rock bottom, and Jerry knows it. His frustration is evident, and while he's directing some of that at the media, the reality is that he's feeling the heat. The Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl since the early days of Jerry's ownership, and every year the pressure mounts. We've made it to the playoffs 13 times under Jerry, but we haven't even reached the NFC Championship game in over 2 decades. Cowboys fans are getting restless, and this loss feels like a turning point. Or at least, it should be. Looking ahead, things don't get any easier for Dallas. After the bye week, we've got a brutal stretch of games that could define our season. First up, we travel to face the San Francisco 49ers, 3-3, and then the Atlanta Falcons, 4-2, in back-to-back road games. Those are 2 teams that have been inconsistent, but they've both shown flashes of being dangerous. But it doesn't stop there. When we return to AT&T Stadium, where we're currently winless this season, we'll face division rival Philadelphia Eagles, 3-2, and then the red-hot Houston Texans, 5-1. And right after that, we've got the Washington Commanders, 4-2, waiting for us in Week 12. So, to put it bluntly, the Cowboys need to get their act together fast. The bye week couldn't have come at a better time, but it'll only be useful if the team can regroup, get healthy, and figure out what's going wrong, particularly on offense and defense. We're staring down some must-win games if we want to stay in the playoff hunt. Here's where things get even spicier. In the midst of all the chaos, there's a growing sentiment that maybe, just maybe, the Cowboys already missed their chance to turn this franchise around. Some fans are asking, did we already miss out on the coach that could have saved us? And who are they talking about? Jim Harbaugh. Yeah, the same Harbaugh who turned around the San Francisco 49ers a few years ago. Harbaugh is now with the Los Angeles Chargers, and he's doing exactly what he did in San Francisco, winning. His no-nonsense approach and ability to get the most out of his players is something a lot of Cowboys fans think we could have used. Imagine Harbaugh paired with Jerry Jones. It could have been the most dynamic duo since Kane and The Undertaker ran wild in the WWE. But That's all in the past now. Instead, we've got McCarthy, and whether he's the right man for the job remains to be seen. Some fans are already dreaming of other big names, like Bill Belichick, but let's be honest. Do you really think Belichick is waiting to be micromanaged by Jerry? Doubtful. The big question is this. Is Mike McCarthy's job safe? On the surface, it looks like Jerry is backing his guy. But for how long? This is the NFL, and things change quickly. While McCarthy led us to 3 straight 12-5 seasons, the pressure is on now more than ever. We've got talent. There's no question about that. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, and others are top-tier players. But the team just isn't clicking, and a lot of that falls on McCarthy's shoulders. His play calling has been questioned, and the lack of adjustments during games is a glaring issue. With Jerry's recent outburst and the growing discontent among the fan base, you have to wonder how long McCarthy has before the seat gets too hot to handle. Could we see changes sooner rather than later? Only time will tell. But for now, McCarthy is still the guy. So, Cowboys Nation, what's the path forward? Can this team turn it around after the bye? Or are we headed for another disappointing season? It's clear Jerry Jones is frustrated and the team is underperforming, but there's still time to right the ship. The question is, can we? The road ahead is tough, but with the talent we have, there's no reason why we can't bounce back. The defense needs to tighten up, and the offense has to find its rhythm fast. We've seen flashes of what this team can be, but it's all about consistency moving forward. Mike McCarthy addressed these rumors head-on when he spoke to reporters earlier this week, and you've got to give him credit. He didn't shy away from the tough questions. When asked about his future with the team and whether he feels pressure after the team's disappointing start, McCarthy responded with a calm but firm message. It's part of the business. McCarthy knows the deal. When you're the head coach of America's team, every move is scrutinized, and every loss hits a little harder. He's in the final year of his contract, and this rocky 3-3 start is not helping his case. Let's be honest, Cowboys Nation. After 3 seasons of 12-5 records and only 1 playoff win, fans are getting restless. Expectations are sky high in Dallas, and right now, McCarthy's squad is not delivering. But here's the thing. McCarthy isn't blaming anyone else. He's owning the situation and taking responsibility, which you have to respect. If we don't fully believe that it's about us, what we do, how we do it, then we're not going to get where we want to go, McCarthy said. He's confident that the team will turn things around, but the clock is ticking. One of the biggest changes this season has been the departure of defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, who left to become the head coach of the Washington Commanders. And let me tell you, Cowboys Nation, that loss is hitting us hard. Ben Solak from ESPN pointed out that McCarthy and the Cowboys defense just haven't been the same without Quinn's leadership. Last year, with Quinn at the helm, our defense was one of the best in the league. But this season, we're allowing 28.0 points per game. That's the 3rd worst mark in the NFL. For a team that prides itself on defense, that's simply unacceptable. Sure, we've had injuries to key players like Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, but the defense just hasn't been able to stop teams consistently. Dan Quinn brought an aggressive, game-changing approach to our defense, and it's clear that we're missing that energy. McCarthy has had to step in and handle more of the defensive duties, but it's not quite clicking. And with tough games ahead, that's a major concern. But it's not just the defense that's struggling. Our franchise quarterback, Dak Prescott, isn't playing at the level we've come to expect. After being an MVP finalist last season, Dak has taken a noticeable step back this year. According to ESPN, Dak is currently ranked 25th in the league with an adjusted QBR of 48.9. That's not the Dak we know, and it's certainly not the Dak we need if we're going to make a playoff push. And get this, Dak is dead last in success rate among 31 quarterbacks this season when it comes to red zone situations. He's also 3rd to last in expected points added per dropback. These stats are concerning, especially when you consider how critical red zone efficiency is in this league. We're simply not converting our chances when we get close to the end zone, and it's costing us games. Now, to be fair to Dak, he's not entirely to blame. The offensive line has had its struggles, and our running game has been inconsistent at best. But at the end of the day, the quarterback is the leader of the offense, and Dak knows he needs to be better. So, what does this all mean for Mike McCarthy? Well, the reality is that McCarthy might need more than just a playoff win to keep his job. The Cowboys have been linked to some big names this offseason, including former New England Patriots head coach Bill Belichick. While nothing is official, the fact that these rumors even exist shows that McCarthy's seat is getting warmer by the day. Jerry Jones is a businessman, and he's always looking for ways to improve the team. If McCarthy doesn't get this team deep into the playoffs, it's not hard to imagine Jerry picking up the phone and calling Belichick or another high-profile coach. Cowboys fans expect greatness, and mediocrity just won't cut it anymore. Looking ahead, the Cowboys have a critical stretch of games that could determine not just McCarthy's future, but the entire season. After the bye week, we'll face the San Francisco 49ers in a primetime Sunday night football matchup. The 49ers are also sitting at 3-3, but they're a tough, physical team that can make life difficult for any opponent. Then we've got the Kansas City Chiefs, who are currently undefeated at 5-0. That's going to be a real test, especially with the way Patrick Mahomes is playing. These two games are crucial. If McCarthy's Cowboys can come out of this stretch with a couple of wins, it'll go a long way toward quieting the critics. But if we falter, the noise around McCarthy's job security is only going to get louder. So, Cowboys Nation, where do we go from here? Is there still hope for this team to turn things around? Absolutely. We've seen flashes of brilliance from this squad, but it's about consistency and execution. McCarthy believes in this team, and we've got the talent to compete with anyone in the league. But it's going to take more than just talk. The players need to step up, the coaches need to adjust, and the entire organization needs to lock in if we're going to salvage this season. The bye week is the perfect time for the team to regroup, get healthy, and come back stronger. All right, now it's time for you guys to weigh in. What do you make of Jerry Jones' fiery comments? And do you think Mike McCarthy is on borrowed time? Should we have gone after someone like Jim Harbaugh? Or do you still have faith that McCarthy can turn things around? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear from you. And before you go, don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot of football left, and whether it's good or bad, we'll be here to break it all down for you. Stay strong, Cowboys Nation. We're in this together. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time with more Dallas Cowboys news.